Let me ask you a question. What if everything you ever wanted, everything you've dreamed of, health, wealth, love, purpose, joy, already exists right now? Not in some far-off future, not in some lucky break, but here now, waiting for you to tune in, to align, to become it. Now, most people live their lives believing that what they see with their eyes is all there is. That reality is something fixed, solid, separate from them. That their thoughts, their feelings, their energy have no bearing on what's out there. But what if that's completely backward? Let's go deeper. You see, for most of our lives, we've been conditioned to think from the outside in. We wait for circumstances to change before we change how we feel. We need the job offer to feel successful. We need the diagnosis to change to feel healthy. We need someone to love us before we feel worthy. And in doing so, we become prisoners of our own environment, slaves to the known. But the quantum model of reality shows us something radically different. In that model, you are not a victim of your environment. You are the creator of it. Your thoughts are electric. Your feelings are magnetic. Together, they broadcast a signal into the field, and the field responds in kind. This field, the invisible realm of energy and information, is the blueprint of your physical world. So when you change your energy, you change your life. Now let's explore that. If everything is energy, and it is, then every possibility you could ever want already exists as a vibrational pattern in the quantum field. The health you desire, the abundance, the new life, all of it. Infinite versions of you are already out there, existing simultaneously. Not just theoretically, scientifically. So, the question isn't, can anything be manifested? The question is, can you become the person who has already manifested it? Because that's the real work. It's not about wishing. It's not about visualizing once and waiting for a miracle. It's about shifting your identity, rehearsing the future you want until it becomes more familiar to you than your past. It's about waking up every morning and becoming that future version of yourself before the evidence shows up. Not waiting for the new relationship to feel love, but feeling love so deeply and consistently that the relationship has no choice but to find you. Not waiting to be healed to feel gratitude, but feeling gratitude until your body has no choice but to follow your mind. That's what true manifestation is. The challenge, of course, is that most people try to create a new life with the same old mind. They think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, perform the same routines, and expect something to change. But nothing changes until you change. You can't enter a new destiny using the emotions of the past. You can't access a new timeline from the same frequency you've always been living on. That's why the work is inner work. You must teach your body emotionally what your future feels like before it happens. That's not just theory, it's biology. When you feel elevated emotions like joy, love, gratitude, inspiration, you begin to signal new genes in new ways. Your brain starts to fire in patterns that mirror the future, not the past. And the body, the unconscious mind, begins to believe it's already living in that reality. You are reprogramming yourself from the inside out. That's the doorway. Now, when people ask, is there anything that can't be manifested? What they're really asking is, are there limits to what I can become? And the truth is, the only limits are the ones you place on yourself. If you believe something is impossible, then for you, it is. If you say, I could never be that healthy, I could never be that wealthy, I'll never find love, then the universe agrees, because your belief is the command. Your energy says no, and the field responds accordingly. But if you start to believe, even just a little, if you start to feel possibility, even for a few minutes a day, you've cracked the code. You've opened the door. There is no external authority deciding what you can or cannot create. The universe does not withhold. It reflects. And it reflects not what you want, but what you are. So when we ask, can anything not be manifested? The answer lies in whether you are willing to step into the unknown, to become someone new, to let go of the identity that keeps you tethered to the same circumstances, the same emotions, the same story. Because your story, if it's based in limitation, victimhood, or past pain, is the anchor to your current reality. And if you want to change your reality, you have to be brave enough to rewrite the story. You have to become a new character in a new narrative, one where you're not defined by what happened, but by what you choose now. You choose love. You choose worthiness. You choose vision. That's the moment creation begins. And it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. Every time you sit with yourself, close your eyes, tune into the field, and feel the future as if it's real, you are bending reality. You are collapsing time. You are pulling the future into the present moment. Science tells us the brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one that is vividly imagined. If you fire and wire those thoughts and emotions long enough, you are literally becoming that future self neurologically. And when the body begins to feel it emotionally, it no longer lives in the past. That's the moment the signal you broadcast into the field becomes coherent, strong, and aligned. That's when synchronicities begin to occur. That's when opportunities find you. That's when your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your new inner world. But here's the paradox. To truly manifest, you must let go of needing to manifest. You must surrender. Not give up, surrender. To trust. To know. To stop checking for results. Because as long as you're waiting, you're affirming it hasn't happened. And if your state of being is lack, that's what you're broadcasting. You must become so in love with your future that you are no longer in a hurry for it to arrive. So present, so filled up from the inside, that the external world becomes irrelevant. And when you reach that state, pure, elevated emotion without attachment, that's when the field mirrors you. That's when you become magnetic. So can anything not be manifested? Only that which you are unwilling to believe, feel, or become. Only that which you keep separate from yourself through doubt, fear, and identification with the old self. The version of you who says, I am not enough, I don't deserve, it's too late. That version is not equipped to receive the future you desire. But there's another version of you, the real you, who lives beyond those limitations, who doesn't need evidence to believe, who creates from the inside out, who trusts that energy is always responding to intention, that matter is following mind. That version of you is not trying to manifest. That version is already it. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are.